Well, a pleasant good evening to everybody out there watching Sumrall Athletics baseball time here at Larry Knight Field. I'm Caleb Hamill filling in for Kelly Sander today as the Bobcats come in with an overall record of 16-2 to face region opponent and fellow county rival Purvis. The Tornadoes coming in with a 9-7 record. Coach Farlow and his team trying to battle with a one loss in district play so far, 3-1 in that mark, whereas Sumrall undefeated in district play. Only 2 losses of the season against MRA in private school, and then South Panola, the other loss so far on the season for Sumrall. Levi Odom today getting the start for the Bobcats. He'll be on the mound pitching to Altman today. And facing this Purvis lineup that we're about to introduce to you, they'll lead things off with a right fielder, number 6, Jacob Anderson. They'll be followed by the shortstop, Hunter Robinson, and then Damon Putnam, who is the third baseman. 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Purvis include Damon Piercy, Jacob Parker, and then JoJo Parker. And the 7, 8, 9 guys, Riley Gardner, Hunter Jackson, and Brandon Smith. In the field for Purvis, yet not batting, will be Tavis Beach. As now Jacob Anderson steps in. Odom goes into his windup. And here's the first pitch of the game. On the outside corner for a called strike, and we're underway. Got a good crowd here in store for this region game today. There's a little ground ball towards third, gloved on a hop by Phillips. He throws it across in the baseline, and it's popped out of his mitt, but they're going to say he applied the tag and then dropped it later. So the out is recorded on the 5-3 put out. Anderson, the first out of the game, and Hunter Robinson will come up, and Anderson still standing on first base, but the umpire is saying exactly what happened. Throw was right there.
Hunter Robinson.
Phillips got it into Norrid's hands, and Norrid applied the tag. Ball popped out by the base runner, and they go ahead and rule that a 5-3 putout. So now Hunter Robinson stands in with the bases empty and 1 down here at the top of the first inning. 2 pitches already and out for Levi Odom. Here's the first offering inside to Robinson on that first offering. Glad to have all of y'all watching here on Facebook Live today. We'll be back on YouTube before too long. Already seeing Ms. Ginger Berry chiming in saying let's go, and Angie White saying go Bobcats. Feel free to comment on the stream. There's a pop-up foul and back out of play to even the count at 1-1. Hunter Robinson, senior for the Tornadoes, batting .426 on the season so far, leading the ball club in batting average above the team's .302 average. Has a 1-1 count right here with 1 down and the bases empty. Odom rocks, winds, and fires. That one's hit in the air, foul, and that will get out of play as well. So now he's behind in the count 1-2. Set the Sumrall defense for you. I mentioned Odom's on the mound, pitching to Ethan Altman behind the plate. Around the infield left to right, you got Phillips at third, Holloman at short, Little at second, Norrid's at first, and then across the outfield left to right, you got Barrett, Rayner, and Dito. Odom waiting. Here's the 1-2 delivery. Hit in the air. That one's hit pretty deep out to left field. Back is Barrett to the wall, reaches up, and that ball is gone. On a 1-2 pitch, Barrett gave it a chance to get caught, but that one clears the fence, and Purvis has a solo shot from Hunter Robinson out to deep left field. Well, you knew off the bat that one just sounded pretty. That jumped out of there in a hurry. So now with 1 down and 1 run already in for the inning, Damon Putnam, third baseman. Another righty bat stands in. First pitch on the inside corner, a strike. I tell you, for Odom, undefeated on the season, and that is the first home run that Odom's given up this season. Grounded, and that one hit off the batter for a foul ball. That sends Putnam behind in the count 0-2. Middle infielders playing back on the edge of that artificial turf where it transitions to grass. Corner guys kind of back off the bags as well. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball towards third. Phillips has it, throws it, and it's off the ground and over to the right side, and he'll reach on an error. Phillips just kind of held on to that ball a little bit too long. He choked up on it, spiked it into the ground a good bit in front of Norwood over there at first base, and it bounced over him and over past the Sumrall dugout. So there's a one-out base runner now for Damon Piercy. A couple Damons back-to-back for Purvis. Piercy will be on the mound for Purvis when we flip the card and go to the bottom of the first. Runner on, one out. Here's the pitch. Called outside corner strike. Well, Odom has been filling the zone so far. He's only pitched one ball so far in this entire game. Now, the only problem with that is guys are making contact. No balls and a strike. One down here in the inning. Grounder towards short. Back over it on the backhand side. Holloman goes to second, and they get the lead runner. So fielder's choice for Piercy as Putnam is retired. And now Piercy is going to get a courtesy runner. This will be Walker Flat.
Courtesy runner at first base, number 3, Walker Flat.
So Flat will take over on the base paths, running at first base for Damon Piercy. Now they're 2 down for Jacob Parker, the DH. First lefty bat that we've seen today. First offering. Line into right field. That one's going to drop for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Runner around second. Flat digging for third. It's easily a double. They're going to wave him home. Here comes a relay from Little to the plate. Not in time. That was actually Holloman that relayed it in, but nevertheless, it's an RBI double for Jacob Parker. With 2 outs, Flat was running on contact. He goes first to home, and Purvis has a 2-0 lead here in the top of the first. JoJo Parker now stands in, a fellow lefty. Just like Jacob Parker gets a called strike for his first offering. Sumrall on a bit of a pickle. They haven't seen very much this season. They'll have to play from behind a little bit, 2-0. There's a foul ball out into the Sumrall dugout. Not hard enough to where everybody had to jump out of the way of that one. So now Parker's behind in the count, 0-2. Not the first time that Odom has been ahead of the count with 2 strikes. Had 2 strikes on Damon Putnam, and Putnam was able to hit a ball over to third base and reached on the air. Oh, 2 pitch. Ooh, just off the outside corner. Altman held it there for that extra beat, hoping that he might get that call, and doesn't get that one. Just a second ball thrown by Levi Odom today. Now the count 1-2. Jacob Parker at second, JoJo Parker at the plate with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Here it comes, outside, ball 2. Well, Sumrall definitely needs to get out of this inning. And get their batters to the plate and hopefully face Purvis and get a couple runs across. They'll be facing Damon Piercy, who has 2 wins already this season. Throw back to the covering shortstop. Runners back in time. Two balls and 2 strikes. 2 down, top of the first inning. Purvis leading 2-0 over Sumrall. Odom winds, deals, runner goes, pitches outside, throw down to third base, not in time. I thought that should have been a called strike 3 anyway. Evidently misses, and now it's a full count at the plate. Give Jacob Parker a stolen base. Fourth stolen base for Parker this season. He's just an 8th grader. Here's the 3-2. Grounder foul onto the Sumrall dugout. Still a full count, 2 down. Your out is at home plate right now in this batter of JoJo Parker. Not really worrying yourself about the guy over there at third base. Odom's just trying to get the batter out. Rocks. Here's the payoff pitch. Hard liner over the shortstop, and there's another run scoring. A single for JoJo Parker drives in another. Goodness gracious. Boy, Odom has not had difficulty like this so far this season. 6 appearances, he's won the game, are factored into the decision at least 5 times. 5 times a winner. Purvis 9-7 on this season, but they lead Sumrall 3-0 in just the top of the first inning. Good bit of 2-out hitting going on. So Jacob Parker comes in and scores. JoJo Parker stands at first base. Meeting at the mound is over. And meeting at the mound brought to you by State Farm Insurance Agency of Stacy Clark in Prentice. 3-0, Riley Gardner, 7-spot hitter now at the plate. And he hits one back up into the right center field gap, and it's down for a base hit. Parker has already hit third base. He's relaying, coming home. There will be no throw in. It's a RBI double for Gardner. The hit parade continues.
First baseman, Hunter Jackson.
Well, it started off with a 5-3 ground out from Jacob Anderson. Hunter Robinson hit a home run, a solo shot. Man reached on an error, but Putnam was later retired on the ball hit by Damon Piercy. His runner came around to score on the double by Jacob Parker. Then JoJo Parker scored him. Then Riley Gardner scored him. Gardner stands at second base, and the first pitch is outside to Hunter Jackson. Well, Odom has been rocked here in this first inning. It's 4-0 Purvis. Outside, 2-0. You can already feel that Odom's getting a little timid here. Now, bear in mind, wind is blowing out to left field today. Swing and a miss there from Jackson. That kind of helped that Hunter Robinson home run just a little bit. Now, granted, that thing was crushed too, but Barrett had a chance to get it out there in left field. He made a jump for it, and it just went over his glove. All the rest have just been good hard hit balls. 2-1 pitch, right in there for a strike. It's the 8th batter of the first that Purvis has sent. So far, 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 Sumrall error in the top half of this frame. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and finally Odom gets out of it and gets his first strikeout. But not before Purvis is able to score 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. We've been through the top of the first inning. We'll be back with the bottom half. Sumrall will send their top of the order to the plate. Hayden Barrett, Hayes Rayner, and Marshall Phillips when we return. This is Sumrall Baseball powered by Dandy Dan's. Time now for the bottom of the first inning. Sumrall giving up 4 runs in the top half of that inning, and it's time now for the Bobcats to return the favor and maybe try to get some runs here on their side, as they'll have Hayden Barrett leading things off. Playing in left field today. Piercy on the mound. His first pitch is fouled off by Barrett out of play to the right side. Piercy on the season, just a .84 earned run average, but you saw earned run average for Odom prior to this game was just .48, and that one is going to change after this game today. There's a call strike at the knees right down Broadway to Barrett, and he's behind the count 0-2. Two and 0 according to the stats that Purvis has updated. I'm sure his record is full of a couple more wins or losses. There's a ball, fly ball into right field, shallow side, coming in as a right fielder. Anderson, he squeezes it for out number 1.
Center fielder, Hayes Rayner.
That'll bring Hayes Rayner to the plate. Now to give you the Sumrall starting lineup, just had Hayden Barrett leading off and playing in left field. Now you've got Hayes Rayner batting in the 2 spot and playing in center. Batting third will be Marshall Phillips, the third baseman. Then cleanup, Hayden Norred at first. K. Dito, the right fielder, bats in the 5 spot. Then it's your pitcher, Levi Odom, in the 6 hole. 7, 8, 9 hitters are Ty Little, Jaron Gear, the DH, and then Ethan Altman, the catcher, will round out the order. Landon Holloman is in the field but not batting. And so for Sumrall, Hayes Rayner with an 0-ball, 1-strike count. That pitch misses, evidently just a little bit down. He had caught plate, but just misses. I'll set the Purvis defense for you momentarily. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Bunt shown, and it's spiked down into the ground for a ball. That makes the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Rayner on this season, a .356 hitter. One of the better hitters this season for Sumrall. Hayden Barrett just a touch better at .364. 2-1 pitch. Misses, and now it's 3-1. After this next pitch, we'll set that Purvis defense for you. I already mentioned Damon Piercy on the mound. Pitch misses outside, and Rayner's walked. Well, base runners, that's what you need if you're Sumrall. Can't get 4 runs without getting some base runners first. So here's the Purvis defense for you. You mentioned Piercy on the mound. It's Smith behind the plate, Brandon Smith. At first base, it's Jackson. Second base is Parker. Third base is Hunter Robinson. At third base, it's Damon Putnam. Then across the outfield left to right, Garner, Beach, and Anderson. First pitch, a called strike to Marshall Phillips. A little bit of a lead off there for Hayes Rayner at first base. Jackson's trying to hold him over there. A look over there during the pitch. There's a swing and a miss. Hey, you can kind of tell that Piercy, being a left-hander, has got a good eye at first base, and he's looking at the plate a long time, and as he's going into his windup, is checking his eyes over there right before he delivers. Now there, he was looking at first the whole time. That's quite a head of hair that Piercy's got. I'll tell you what, a lot of baseball players have to get used to the sunshine and avoid getting sunburned. He doesn't have to worry about the back of his neck getting burned. And for that, I envy you. Counts now 1-2. Marshall Phillips at the plate. Purvis looking for a double play ball to get out of this inning. Runner goes, pitch comes, it's lined foul over the Sumrall dugout. Count will remain a ball and 2 strikes. 1 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Sumrall trailing Purvis 4-0. Left on right matchup. Now they throw over. Renner ran. Now the throw down to second base is not in time. Boy, they threw it right to Jackson at first base. He had to kind of get it out of his glove and throw to the covering shortstop Robinson, but it just was not in time. To give Rayner a stolen base. So runner in scoring position now for Phillips. Double play is off. At least the traditional ground ball variety. Now Piercy backs off the mound, prepping to throw to second again. He's already been burned by Rayner once, but Piercy did everything that he was supposed to do on that previous play. Threw it right to first where the runner is supposed to be, and Jackson has to get rid of it quickly to go to the covering guy at second. Wild pitch. Here comes Rayner to third base. Well, if you're Sumrall right here, you really don't have to get all 4 runs right here in this first inning. You really just need to at least get on the board and feel better about yourself to know that your team can score runs in this game. There's a swing and a miss for a strikeout. Bad news is Phillips strikes out. Hayden Nora is now at the plate. The good news is one more wild pitch, and Sumrall's got their first run of the game. Norris standing in. Cleanup hitter for the Bobcats with Rayner over there at third base. Piercy with his first delivery is up and outside for ball 1. Sumrall's also still looking for their first hit. 1-0 pitch. That's on the corner for a called strike. Ted Piercy's got a pretty good fastball. There's the 1-1. That one's fouled off. Well, he's got Norwood behind in the count, 1-2. Two down here in the bottom of the first. Sumrall still has yet to scratch a run across, but they've got one 90 feet away right now. Get a base hit, and it's 4-1. There's a 1-2 pitch. Up and outside. They wasted that one. Maybe trying to get Norwood to chase the high heat. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Norwood trying to be a hitter and get Sumrall their first run of the game. Wind picking up out to left field. Here's the 2-2. Inside, and it hit him. Well, that puts runners at the corners now for Dito. Dito with 4 RBIs this season, batting .282. Got a chance right here to maybe get at least one. If he gets a base hit, he may be able to score Norwood all the way from first base. You know, with 2 outs, it just kind of depends on where you hit the ball. You saw Purvis there in the first inning get a couple runs first to home. First pitch on the outside corner. The 2 base runners for Sumrall here in the game so far have been Rayner on a walk and now Norwood on a hit by pitch. No hits so far for Sumrall. 0-1, breaking ball that didn't break enough to fall in. One ball and 1 strike now. Dito at the plate. Ground ball towards third. Gloved on a couple hops. Preps throws to first. It's not in time. He beat it out. And Dito drives in the first run for Sumrall on an infield single. That's got to feel pretty good. From being down in the count, or down with 2 outs, runner 90 feet away, it's a whole different mood for a team to get that run across and not leave him stranded at third base before you end this first inning. 4-1, Purvis on top of Sumrall, and now Levi Odom stands in. It was a whole lot better to not leave a runner stranded at third base. Now, if you leave two guys stranded at first and second, I mean, that's baseball. But like I said, it's at least a little good token there to score that first run of the game. Kind of breaks the ice. 0-1 pitch, up high, ball one. Odom this season, .325 on the batting average. He's got 10 RBIs this season. Got one home run to his credit, too. Left field is a good spot to hit one today as well. Pitch misses high, and it's 2-1. Hunter Robinson already hit one for Purvis today out to left field. I wouldn't doubt it if we saw a couple more from either team. Piercy looks the runner back at second. Norrid's at second. K. Dito is at first base. Third base unoccupied. Odom is at the plate ahead in the count, 2-1 strike. The 2-1 pitch, right in there for a strike. Odom's got a battle now. Two balls, two strikes, two outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Sumrall trailing Purvis 4-1. Runners at first and second. The pitch to Odom. Check swing. Takes it high for ball three. Good eye there from the right-hander Odom. Well, if Odom reaches on a walk, it loads the bases for Ty Little. If he gets a base hit, he scores at least one run, likely, in the person of Hayden Norrid. Ball four, base hit chant coming from the Sumrall side. Now Piercy steps off the back of the rubber. Really good home crowd from Sumrall today. Good bit of Purvis folks have traveled up 589 to come to the ballpark today as well. I'm glad to have you watching here on the Sumrall Athletics Facebook page. 3-2 pitch. There's a grounder towards short. Deep short. Glove thrown across. Booted! A runner coming from third. Norred will score on the E6. I know, honestly, it wasn't that bad of a throw from Robinson, but it got the job done. So Norred goes from second and scores. Sumrall still has life with two outs here in the bottom of the first.
Second baseman Ty Little.
Dito goes first to third. He ended up at second base after what would have been the final out, and then just takes an extra base after the throw got away from Jackson at first. And now Ty Little stands in with runners at the corners and still two down. Runner goes, pitch comes, line into left field. That drops for a base hit. Sumrall's got their third run across and an RBI single from Ty Little. And I'm hearing Mike Peterson and Jeremy Thompson saying to my right, we're going to be here all night. And if there are runs scored like this by both teams here in this big region matchup, I wouldn't doubt it. There's going to be now a State Farm at Stacy Clark Apprentice mound visit now from the Purvis coaching staff to talk with Piercy. And we'll take this time to remind you that our broadcast tonight is also presented by Rainforest Car Wash, as well as Recommended Collision Repair. Thank you for the fine folks of both Rainforest Car Wash and Recommended Collision Repair for their fine sponsorship of Sumrall Baseball. Rayner already has come around to score after he reached on a walk. Got batted in by K. Dito. Norrid reached home on the E6 that Levi Odom got on base with. And now Gear stands in and takes a pitch up and out for ball one. Runners at first and second. Still two outs. Both teams have sent 8 batters to the plate in the first inning. 1-0 pitch. That one's on the outside corner. Gore at the plate, 1 ball and 1 strike. Long pause from Piercy. Looks at second, now turns around and throws it into center field. The center fielder boots it. It's going to run all the way to the wall. This may score both the runs. Already in is Odom. Ty Little's rounding third. He's coming in. There will be no throw to the plate. It is 5-4 Sumrall. You've got to be kidding me. Piercy should have never thrown that ball. I know hindsight's 20/20. A left-hander looked back over his left shoulder, then started to turn around a whole nother 270 degrees to try to get a little oomph with the left hand. Throw was awful into the center field. Beach had no room to glove that ball on a hop. He wasn't ready for it. There's a swing and a miss. Strike for Gore. It's now 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes. Base is empty on the second error of the inning. Or third error, I should say. There's a swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout. Well, that finally ends the inning, but Sumrall scores 5 runs on, I have 2 hits, 3 errors, and nobody left on. We played through 1. Sumrall leading 5-4. This is the Bobcat Network presented by Dandy Dance. Well, we move to the second inning finally. Already 32 minutes into the game, and we've only played an inning. Odom back on the bump. Purvis with a 9-1 and 2 hitters due up, and the first pitch is upstairs to Brandon Smith. Both teams sent 8 batters to the plate. I feel bad for the pitching staff. Count now even 1-1. That one's fouled back, and now it's 1-2 to Smith. Check that out. I got my friend Gavin King tuning in today. I typically want to follow Sumrall baseball, but just enjoys a good game of baseball every now and then. Watching the stream because it got shared on Facebook. Appreciate you, buddy. Count now 2-2 to Smith. Don't forget to check in by replying on the Facebook live stream. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Odom gets his second strikeout of the day and retires the first batter of the inning, and now will face Jacob Anderson, the top of the order. One down here in the top of the second. Boy, it'll be nice to have a 1-2-3 inning to try to combat that 8 batter first. Foul ball back for strike 1. That's one way to get it started. Can't get 3 up, 3 down without getting the first guy out. No balls and a strike. Anderson grounded out to third base in his first time up. And watches a called strike right there. That was right down Broadway. Last inning, Purvis had 4 runs on 4 hits. One of those a solo shot by Hunter Robinson. He'll be the next batter up. Pitch misses up and out for ball 1. And the wind has not relented out to left field. In fact, I want to say it's picked up since we first started the game. 8 miles an hour when we started. Old Glory has picked up a little steam every now and then. Pitch misses outside to even the count at 2-2. Vicky Bailey chiming in saying go Bobcats on the Facebook live stream. Glad to have you watching, Miss Vicky. Two balls, 2 strikes. Odom rocks and fires. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout of the inning. Second man retired in a row of this inning. That's technically 3 strikeouts in a row for Odom in the last 3 batters he's faced. And now he'll face a big hitting Hunter Robinson. Right on right matchup. This has been the case in several at-bats here for this Purvis lineup. First one, called strike, outside corner. I tell you what, give credit to Levi. He's definitely been pounding the zone with strikes today. A whole lot of first pitch strikes. Only a handful of balls. There's a liner. That one gets through the gap into the left field for a 2-out single from Robinson. He's now a home run and a single on this game. And again, here's 2-out hitting from Purvis. Watch out. Michelle Templeton chiming in saying, let's go Cats. Cats need to go ahead and get this 3rd out recorded of the 2nd inning and avoid a little fall apart like they had in the first. Now it's Damon Putnam. Reached on an error in his first at bat. Faces Odom again, watches a pitch upstairs for ball 1. Jane Stout also tuning in. She's watching from North Carolina, cheering on Hayden Norrid. Robinson at first, Putnam at the plate. Now throw over, and Robinson's back. That was the 5th hit of the game for Purvis. Odom sets, delivers, runner goes, pitch is fouled off, and he'll have to go back to first base. Robinson doesn't hit. 426 for no reason. He's 2 for 2 today with a home run and a single. Now Putnam's at the plate. Now he does not quite have the same batting average that Robinson has, but it is 400. So give him credit where credit's due. There's a strike right down the heart. Now he's behind 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, man at first base here in the top of the 2nd inning. 5-4, throw over, Robinson gets back in. The 1-2 pitch, runner goes, grounder towards second, he'll go to the bag, and his step beat Robinson to the bag, and the inning's over.
For Purvis in the top of the 2nd.
No runs, 1 hit. No errors, and 1 man left on base. We played through 1.5. Sumrall leads 5-4. Back with the 9 1-2 hitters in Altman, Barrett, and Rayner when we return. This is Sumrall Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Ethan Altman will start things off for Sumrall here in the bottom of the second. It's Altman, Barrett, and Rayner due up. 9-1 and 2 hitters after Sumrall got 5 runs on just 2 hits there in that first inning. 3 Purvis errors. In fact, one play featured 2 errors, one from the pitcher and one from the center fielder. That scored those runs of Levi Odom and Ty Little. And now we have a little bit of a pause in the action because the entire left side of the field's lighting structure just cut out. And the bad news about these lights, if they're like the traditional one, is they have to go through a whole cooling cycle before they can power back on. Folks, we may have an extended delay here. Now, one thing that I can think of that may have caused this, just kind of thinking out loud here, the lights out in left field have not been on this entire game. Everything else has been on. So the left field lights have never been on. I'm wondering if somebody was trying to flip the switch to try to turn those back on, and somehow in the process accidentally turned off these left side infield set of lights. You got one that's right behind the Purvis dugout here close to us up here in the press box, and then one about midway up the line down the left field side. Now the umpires are going to have a little powwow and talk about this, and the issue is there's going to be a delay no matter how you draw it up, because to have fairness of play, you've got to have the same conditions as far as lighting and everything for both teams on both sides of this inning. It's unfair to have, Purvis with fully lit stadium and Sumrall not to have full lights trying to see the ball. And so now we have to pause in the action right now on a 1-ball, no-strike count on Ethan Altman. And they're going to go ahead and bring in the Purvis infielders and outfielders, all the fielders for that matter. And we're going to have at least a pause in the action. I am fairly confident that we'll return to play, but I've been in a football game situation like this before where it took well over 30 minutes for lights to come back on, and in fact it took so long for the cooling cycle and lights to recycle on that they actually had to call the game that night and replay or finish playing it on the next night of Saturday. That was just to show you how long ago that was. That was probably about 2010, and I was at a Corinth High School versus Ripley game. And that was played up in the Northeast Stadium, Northeast Mississippi Community College Stadium. They were playing up there, and so half the stadium's lighting went out, and it was turning on as everybody finally left the game when they called things off. That was at least 30 minutes, and I don't bank on these being the exact same, but I'd have a feeling that they are similarly set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause in our broadcast right here. We're going to keep things going here on Facebook Live and give you an update here. In the next few minutes or so, you can check the comments. We'll put it out there. I've got the ability to update you from that point as well. So thanks, everybody that's watching out there. Keep in touch. This is going to be, I would say, at least 10 to 15 minutes before we get back ready for play. So take my word on that. You can take it with a grain of salt, but it's going to be a little bit of time before the lights come back on and we're back ready to resume action in the second inning. So for right now, Sumrall leads Purvis 5-4. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Only one pitch thrown by Piercy here in the second. That was a ball to Ethan Altman. They'll return with him to the plate once play resumes and we get all the lights back on. But for right now, we're in the bottom of the second. We'll pause in the action with Sumrall leading 5-4 here on the Sumrall Bobcat Network, powered by Dandy Dan's. All right, everybody. The lights are coming back on. In fact, including the left field lights that were out the entire game. So just to recap to you what's all happened here and why we've had this big delay. If you've just hopped on Facebook Live, we'll give you some time to return. But the stadium had the lights on for the majority of this game. They kind of turned on about midway through the first inning when everything was well lit by the sky. And so we looked around, and all the lights were on except the ones that are on the pole out in dead left field, about where Hunter Robinson for Purvis hit his home run earlier. So that was no problem. It really wasn't hardly noticed because the sky was pretty well lit, and so was the field. But at some point, right there in the bottom of the second inning, Ethan Altman was standing at the plate after ball one. All of a sudden, the lights that are on the left side of the field, kind of behind the third base line, both of them just went dark suddenly. And so with that, they had to pause the game because it was enough of a difference to say, well, we've got to figure out how to turn these back on, because as you have probably been able to tell there on the stream, that things got dark everywhere pretty quickly. It didn't take long at all before those lights fully were missed because the sky got dark in a hurry. But we have finally gotten to where the lights can get turned back on, and they got to full brightness in just about 1 minute. And so it took a long time for them to go through their full cooling cycle, maybe replace a fuse or so. Something had to be done about the lights out there in deep left field. And somebody told me that they're on the same circuit as these behind us to the left. And so if that's the case and they had to change a fuse out, they would have had to do that with the lights off anyway. And so kind of unfortunate that we had to figure that out right here in the middle of the game, but that's where we stand. And Piercy for Purvis, who pitched an inning, faced 8 batters there in that first inning, gave up 5 runs. Not all of those earned, by the way. In fact, I think only 3 of them were earned, but nevertheless, he is back on the mound. Damon Piercy for Purvis. Sumrall's Ethan Altman will be coming back to the plate with a 1-ball, no-strike count. That has not changed. And everybody's tried to stay warm this entire time. You saw guys throwing in the outfield grass area, just kind of keeping loose, getting ready, because they said, you know what, everything was relayed from the event staff personnel here at the stadium and the coaches and everybody that we are going to finish this game tonight. So Altman is back at the plate, and we're about ready for baseball once again. So glad to have you all joining us. I saw where Miss Ann Miller-Knight has jumped on as well. Here at her son's namesake field, a called strike to Altman, even the count at 1-1. A 37-minute delay. So I wasn't too far off, saying it would take about 30 minutes or more. There's a foul ball back, and now he's behind 1-2. 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up here in the bottom of the second. You got Altman, then Hayden Barrett, and Hayes Rayner due up for Sumrall here in the second inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Piercy goes into his lineup. The lefty deals. Pitch missed just outside. Good frame job by Brandon Smith there behind the plate. Tried to pull it in just a touch toward the end right there. Just did not get the call. But paused a long time to allow the home plate umpire to think about it. Here's the 2-2. Inside, and all the count is run full. Altman has worked it from a 1-0 count that lasted 37 minutes to now a full count. Here's the 3-2. Foul back, and we'll do it again. Look out, Petey. Game started at 6:34. We're here in the bottom of the second inning, and it's 7:44. So now we're 10 old and not even a full 2 innings yet. Pitch misses high, and Altman is walked. Now Hayden Barrett will come to the plate. Hayden Barrett at the plate. Runner on, nobody out. Throw over to first, and Altman dives back in. Or excuse me, that's his runner that's over there. His courtesy runner is Brandon Harrison. First pitch, bunt shown, taken on the outside corner for a strike. Through the first inning and 8 batters faced, Piercy threw 33 pitches. Norwood squares around a bunt again. Third baseman Putnam is coming in, but they're going to throw it to first before that pitch. We'll reset everybody because it's been a little while since we've talked about some of these fielders. So we'll mention them in just a second. Get you back squared away. 0-1 pitch swung on. High chop over the pitcher's mound. Shortstop has to field it in front of second and throws across in time. But that does move over the runner and works just like a sacrifice. Barrett retired for the second time in a row, but he does move the runner over. 1 out. Man in scoring position now. As Harrison moves to second, Hayes Rayner will come to the plate. Was walked and came around to score in that first inning. Was the first run for Sumrall. And with 2 outs, you thought, well, at least Sumrall didn't leave him stranded there. Well, lo and behold, they got a total of 5 runs in that inning, all with 2 outs. First offering, squared a bunt. Bunted good right up to the pitcher. He had to come forward to field it. Nobody's covering first base, and they're safe.
Third baseman, Marshall Phillips.
I'm not sure what the first baseman was thinking right there. Jackson didn't field his position. That ball was bunted right back to the pitcher. It's a bunt single for Hayes Rayner. That moves Harrison over to third. 1 out, runners at the corners for Marshall Phillips. It was the second out of that first inning with a strikeout. First pitch came inside. Started off behind in the count. 0-2 his last time up. Let's see what Phillips can do here with runners at the corners. Got 23 runs driven in this season. Pitch misses away. Runner goes ahead and steals second. That's Rayner. Sumrall leading by a run so far, and this to add a little bit of insurance, and now the infielders are going to come in. Piercy winds and deals. Out one, hit a mile high into center field. Beach is coming in just a little bit, waits for it, camps out, catches it. Runner tags, Harrison coming in, throws to the plate, not in time. Throw came up the line and a little bit too far in front of the plate. Not a heavy throw right there. And so it allows Harrison to come in and score on the sacrifice fly by Phillips. So 2 down, runner at second base now for Hayden Norwood. And Phillips gets his 24th RBI this season, leads the club in that mark. A pretty good margin. Hayden Barrett just behind him with 20. 2 down here, runner at second base, Norwood at the plate. His first offering, liner into the gap, right center field. And that will get down and get fielded on a hop by the center fielder, Beach. 1 run is in. They're going to try to stretch it into a double. He is dead to rights. Norwood drives in the run, but is retired at second base on an 8-6 putout. And that will, or excuse me, yeah, that was 8-6 on the putout. So that will end the second inning, but for Sumrall, they do get 2 runs across on 2 hits. No errors and nobody left on. We played through 2. Our broadcast, want to thank our sponsors of the broadcast, Real South Hunting, as well as Alpha Insurance agent Casey Long. Real South Hunting and Alpha Insurance agent Casey Long. Want to thank y'all for your sponsorship of Sumrall Baseball as the Bobcats lead 6-4 going into the 3rd inning. This is Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's.
Leading off the top of the third for the
Now to the top of the third inning is it'll be Damon Piercy, the pitcher, followed by Jacob Parker and then JoJo Parker for Purvis. Facing Levi Odom back in after a long respite due to that lighting delay. Not lightning, didn't misspeak there, lighting delay. Pitch came in and bopped him on the helmet. Well, nothing like welcome back to a game after about a 45-minute delay between your pitching times. And Odom plunks on the first pitch right into the headgear of the pitcher Piercy. Well, they're asking for a pinch runner, but evidently that pinch runner is warming up to come in. So they're having to call him from the bullpen down the left field line. And so now Walker Flat will finally take the helmet and go run at first base. That's just what we need, a couple more delays in this game. Well, good news for some of the defenders of this game. The wind that was blowing out to left field has calmed down, at least for the time being, as the nightcap has come over Larry Knight Field. 7-4 Sumrall. First pitch is outside to the lefty, Jacob Parker. Flat taking a good lead over there at first base. Nora trying to hold him on. Next pitch goes off the glove of Altman and behind him, and that will be an easy base for Flat to move over. Wild pitch from Odom. So you've had a hit by pitch, ball one, and now a wild pitch. That are the three pitches that Odom's thrown since coming back into the game after the delay. Look at second. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Jacob Parker. He'll be followed by JoJo Parker. Parker at the plate. Reached base on a double and scored. Damon Piercy's runner. Now golfs that one into right center field. And that one's down. Cut off by Dito in right field. They'll send the runner, and he'll get there easily to make it a 7-5 ball game. So yet another RBI for Jacob Parker. RBI single, and Odom's day is done. So Sumrall will make a pitching change, and we will return and tell you about the new man who's come in just a little bit. This is Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Well, Hayden Norrid checks in and will be the pitcher for Sumrall after Levi Odom pitches 2+ innings. He's responsible for all 5 runs that have come in, all of those earned in this game. You can officially close the book in just a little bit. You can definitely tally up the hits that he's given up 5 so far the game. Those are the only hits that Purvis has so far. Never walked a guy in the game, but he did give up one hit by pitch, struck out 3 different batters. And we'll close the book on him a little bit later on. So, new pitcher in the game, Hayden Nord, got some defensive changes too. Cross Sibley's checked in and now is playing at first base. Odom's moved to third. Phillips is now the shortstop, and Holloman has checked out. Here's JoJo Parker. First pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Nora dealing from the mound. We'll give you his numbers in just a second. The 1 pitch, swing and a miss. Well, that was 84 on the gun. Pretty good fastball. Nora this season hasn't factored into a decision yet. In 4 appearances, he's got a .588 earned run average. No saves either. He started 2 games so far. Throw it to first, runners back. Jacob Parker stands at first base for Purvis. JoJo Parker is at the plate right now, behind in the count 0-2. No outs so far here in the 3rd inning. Piercy, who was hit by pitch, had a courtesy runner come in, came around to score after reaching second on a wild pitch, and then was driven in on Parker's single to the right center field gap. Long pause from Norrid. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside. It's 1-2 now. I tell you, one of the benefits of being up here at our vantage point is you get to see right over home plate. And you'll definitely know if something crosses or not. Love the vantage point we get here at Larry Knight Field. 1-2. Swing and a miss. There's the first strikeout of the game for Hayden Norrid. And finally the first out of this 3rd inning. Riley Garner doubled his last time up, scored JoJo Parker for an RBI. Purvis trailing Sumrall right now 7-5. Technically the tying run is at the plate right now. Here at the top of the 3rd inning. Foul ball back for strike 1. Jacob Parker at first, Garner at the plate. Norrid on the mound for Sumrall. We'll reset the defense for you because it's been a little while since we talked about some of those guys after a nearly 40-minute delay that we had here. Here's the pitch, up high. Altman looked like he was prepping to throw over at first base, but Parker dove back in before a throw happened. Counts now even, 1 ball, 1 strike to Garner. Norrid pauses, comes set, here's the pitch, way out in front of that one. Took a lot off speed with 72 miles an hour. That one looked like just a straight change. One ball, 2 strikes. Norrid sets. Here comes the pitch on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Froze him right there. Came inside, caught the corner for out number 2. Well, Norrid comes in and immediately gets a pair of strikeouts. I want to give a shout out to some more Bobcat faithful that are watching tonight. Danny Grimsley's tuning in. Also, Raymond McRaney and Truvy as well, watching from Hooterville. One ball and no strikes on the lefty, Hunter Jackson. Also got Shannon Goolsby watching, saying, "Let's go Bobcats." Jackson, a strikeout victim, ended the 1st inning. He was that 8th man to come up to the plate, throw over a runner, nearly caught stealing, but he just got back in time. 1 ball, no strikes. Throw back over. He barely slapped that hand down. He's not getting a good jump back toward first base. I think Norwood knows that, and that's why he's continually throwing over to first. Still 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Pitch is high. Throw down to second base is on the money, but tag not applied in time. Fielded on a hop over there by Ty Little, but the tag to Parker was not applied in time. It was a pretty good throw from Altman behind the plate. Give him credit. Pitch miss finally for ball 2. Jackson ahead in the count 2-0. Jacob Parker moved to second base on a stolen base. 2-0 misses outside, and now Jackson has 3 balls and no strikes. 2 down here in the top of the 3rd. Runner back at second base. We'll reset that Sumrall defense for you. Norwood's on the mound after being at first base to start the game. Altman's behind the plate. Odom at third, Phillips at short, Little at second, Sibley at first, and then the outfielders left to right are Barrett, Rayner, and Dito. There's a called strike on the outside corner. Pretty good pitch right there. Not just one of those get-me-over strikes. That was a hard-earned fastball in the outer corner. Now a foul ball to make the count full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Parker will be running on the pitch. He stands at second base for Hunter Jackson at the plate. Purvis trailing Sumrall 7-5 here in the top of the 3rd inning. Here's the payoff pitch. Off the outside corner, ball 4. That missed by about a ball's width. Off the outside corner. Jackson is issued a walk. First walk given up by Sumrall today. And that'll bring up the 9-hole hitting Brandon Smith. Brandon led off the 2nd inning, was a strikeout victim to Levi Odom. Christy Martin checks in. She's watching Bobcat baseball here on Facebook Live. Sorry, Christy, we're not on YouTube tonight. Still waiting to get back on that after they've given us a little bit of a timeout. Ground ball towards first. Sibley's up with it. He'll take it himself to the bag, and the inning is over. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We play through 2.5. We'll be back with the bottom of the 3rd with Dito, Odom, and Little due up. This is Bobcat Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Dito to lead things off for Sumrall here in the bottom of the 3rd. Purvis got a run there in the top half of this frame. Cut the lead to 2 for Sumrall, but Sumrall's got the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up, and on the first pitch, Dito puts one in the gap in right center field, makes the turn at first base, and we'll get a stand-up double to start off the inning.
Third baseman Levi Odom.
First pitch swinging, Dito aggressive, puts it into right center field, and now it's Odom coming to the plate. Odom playing now at third base, was the starting pitcher, but just gave up a couple too many runs, and Coach Davis said, it's time you grabbed your fielding glove and came on out. Nobody out, runner at second base for Odom. Singled his first time up. It was a close play. It could have been called an error, charged to the shortstop Robinson. Official scorer said that Odom would have reached anyway and then advanced to second base on the E6. We'll take his word for it. No balls, one strike on Odom. So he singled and came around to score. That is, his runner came around to score. I believe that may have been Brandon Harrison. I know Harrison ran for Altman earlier in this game. I can't remember if Odom had a courtesy runner or if he just decided to run for himself. I forgot to mark it one way or the other. Anyway, no balls, one strike. Odom at the plate. Piercy now looks back the runner at second again. Now keep in mind, that was a cycle back to the first inning. Piercy had a play where he was trying to pick off a runner at second base, threw it poorly to the third base side of the bag into center field. Then the center fielder misplayed it and allowed 2 runs to score, one from first and the other from second. 0-1 is way outside. I'd say that was a pitch out, but if it was, the middle infielders were not in on it. Purvis sitting at 9 wins and 7 losses on the season. Sumrall only 2 losses to go with 16 wins. Sumrall undefeated in region play, trying to get another region win here tonight. Battle in Region 7 of Class 4A. There's a strike on the outside corner. One ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out here, bottom of the second inning. Sumrall by 2, 7-5. Piercy, starting pitcher on the mound, now looks back the runner, and his shortstop was covering that time, but decides to hold it. On deck is Ty Little. He reached base on a single and scored in a run for Sumrall earlier today. I believe he drove in Hayden Norrid. Here's the 1-2. Outside, now it's 2-2. Well, I tell you, Jeremy and Mike were saying after the first inning that we're going to be here a long time. I don't think we all predicted the lighting delay. The statement has held up, though. Only in the third inning, and we're already well over an hour and a half in the books. Pop fly, left side, and that will get out of play. So Odom will stay alive after that foul ball. Two balls and 2 strikes. Dito at second after a first pitch swinging double into the right center gap. Looks back at him, now turns to the plate, delivers. Pitch misses high, they throw it down to third as the runner's going, he's safe. Dito steals third, and now another insurance run is 90 feet away for Sumrall. Seventh pitch of the at-bat upcoming. Full count still on Levi Odom. Pause, and now a back off the rubber for Piercy. Well, Sumrall starting pitcher was pulled from play in the third inning. Piercy in his own third inning gets a swing and a miss right there. Actually, did he get a piece of it? Yeah, he fouled it back. So we'll do it again. Piercy trying to get back a hold of the Bobcats, but he's got a leadoff man over there at third base with nobody out. Infielders aren't playing in yet. That run's not as important as just trying to get routine outs. Off-speed pitch, stays high, and Odom's walked. Worked from being down 1-2 in the count, fouled off a couple pitches, and reaches first base. So now runners are at the corners for Ty Little. After we just mentioned Odom was pulled from the game in the third inning, that's going to be the fate of Piercy as well.
New pitcher for Purvis is number 3, Walker Flat.
So Walker Flat will now check in as the pitcher for Purvis, and we'll figure out how some of the defensive changes are going to happen and see if Piercy comes back in or not. It may be just a straight change pitcher for pitcher, but we'll tell you about Flat's numbers and a little bit more as we get ready for Ty Little to come to the plate in just a moment. Sumrall 7, Purvis 5. This is Sumrall Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Walker Flat, the new pitcher for Purvis. This will be his 8th appearance this season. 3.78 earned run average, 1-0 record. He's a junior for the Purvis Tornadoes. Inherits a situation of runners at the corners and nobody out, and he'll face Ty Little, 7-spot hitter of the order. Singled and drove in a run back there in the first inning where Sumrall was able to plate 5 different runs, all with 2 outs. Now step off the rubber, fake to third, and turn to first with the illegal pickoff move in the MLB. Ty this season, a .271 hitter. Added his 14th hit of the season, got his 12th RBI earlier today. Immediately, Smith is going to go out there and have a word with Flat, who's just checked in on the mound. Now the quick timeout. The Sumrall first base coach going to have a word with Levi Odom. Obviously, Odom not the pitcher anymore, doesn't get a courtesy run, and they're not going to pinch run for him either. All right, we ready for the first pitch to Ty Little or not? Long pause, here it comes. 80-mile-per-hour fastball is off the plate for ball 1. Odom at first, Dito at third. Dito reached on a double and moved over on a stolen base. Chopper foul into the Sumrall dugout. Good job of the hands there from Jaron Gore. One-handed that one before it went in the dugout. One and one the count. Long pause. Flat delivers. There's a liner towards right field. Right fielder slips down. It gets by him and is going to go to the wall. Dito scores. The ball's still traveling around the track there. It's finally picked up, thrown in, and Little will get to third base. It's not an error. It is considered a triple. Anderson came in trying to make a play to dive for the ball. I think he kind of tripped himself up, and then it skipped by him and went all the way to the wall. Ty Little gets a pair of RBIs, drives in Dito and Odom to make it 9-5 Sumrall. Now Gore stands in, and the first pitch is outside for ball one. That's the sixth hit of the day for Sumrall. That one's in there for a strike. We're here in the bottom of the third inning, no outs. Runner at third base. Sumrall leading 9-5. Pitch misses up and in to make it 2-1. Gore was a strikeout victim, ended the first inning. The eighth man to come to the plate in that first. 2-1 pitch. Popped up behind the plate. That one looks like it's going to get out of play, and it will get onto the Sumrall ceiling over here, Sumrall fans area. Hit off the metal roof and bounced back off. Count now even at 2-2. I tell you, I'm filling in for Kelly tonight. He probably has time to come back from Pearl River and finish this one. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Well, a strikeout victim for the second time tonight. That's just the first out of this third inning. I'll tell you what, we've had some crazy things happen in this game. Sumrall went from having a runner at third base and 2 outs, trailing 4-0. Very abnormal outing for Levi Odom, to getting 5 runs in that bottom half of the first. Now I've put up crooked numbers in the second and third inning, 2 in each of those to make it 9-5. Not trying to put the cart ahead of the horse, but with that lighting delay, not lightning, but lighting delay added on, wouldn't surprise me if this game in just as wacky fashion. 1-1 the count on Ethan Altman. Little's at third base. Pitch comes inside, grounded towards first. Piercy gloves it and touches first and keeps Little from advancing home. So a 3 unassisted put out, puts 2 outs on the board, and it's up to Hayden Barrett to keep the inning alive. 0 for 2 today, which is unlike Hayden. An above 400 hitter so far this season. He flew out to right field his first time up and then grounded into a 6-3 putout. Way out in front of that pitch. That one registered at 65 miles an hour. Off speed would be an understatement. Oh, you can close the book on Damon Piercy. We'll talk about his numbers in just a second as that pitch misses outside to even the count. Gave up 9 runs. I think only 7, maybe even less, of those were earned. 2 runs scored on a double error. Had 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. Walker flat. is the pitcher in there right now. Now foul ball back for strike 2. Two balls, 2 strike, 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Sumrall leading 9-5. Barrett trying to save a little bit of his batting average right now as he's 0 for 2. Let's see if he can be a hitter. 2-2 pitch. Down low, ball 3. Little stands at third base after his triple that drove in a pair of runs. Chant coming from the Sumrall side. Here's the payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Well, it doesn't help his batting average, but it does put him on base. Now runners are at the corners for Hayes Rayner, who has walked and scored, then reached base on a bunt single. Bunted it right back to the pitcher Piercy earlier in the game. But the first baseman, Jackson, was not covering the bag, and that allowed him to go on. Large lead there from Barrett at first base. He takes off, pitches outside. He preps to throw, but the catcher eats it. And Barrett will easily get second base. You almost knew automatically that Barrett was going to steal right there. Makes the only force out at first base now. Rayner ahead in the count, 1-0. Here's the pitch from Flat. Grounder, back up the middle. Gloved by the, or actually booted by the second baseman. He has no play now. Now a runner preps to turn the third and try to come home, but Barrett wisely stays put there. And that is an E4. That scores that 10th run of the game for Sumrall. Little comes in to score. Barrett moves over to third. And Rayner reaches first. So still runners at the corners and 2 down. Now it's Marshall Phillips at the plate. Had a sacrifice fly that scored Hayes Rayner his last time up. Or check that. Scored Ethan Altman's runner Harrison his last time up. Throw over. Rayner back in. That was the 4th error of the game charged to Purvis. And they have been sharing the love. Now the runner goes on that pitch. Rayner reaches. Phillips ahead in the count, 1-0. Now the runners are at second and third once again with 2 down. That makes the only force play at first base. Middle infielders playing back near the transition of turf to grass. Kicking the fire from Flat. He turns on that one, and it's just foul down the line. That would have probably scored both runs. Actually, I think it definitely would have. Unless you got a cannon of an arm and Garner out there in left field, I doubt that you cut down Hayes Rayner. One ball and 1 strike after the foul ball. 2 down here, runners at second and third. Here in the bottom of the third inning, the pitch. Outside, and it's 2-1. Well, a wild pitch would score you a run right here if it's wild enough. Unless you get one of those good kickbacks from the backstop. It's pretty deep behind home plate here at Larry Knight Field. Here's the 2-1. Off the outside corner, ball 3. Or ball 2, I should say. No, it is ball 3. Okay. Scoreboard changed a little slower than I thought it would. 3 balls and a strike on Phillips. 0 for 1 today. Hasn't had a hit yet. Here's the 3-1. Turns on that one. Skies it foul out of play to the left side. That is a high fly ball. If you would have straightened that one out, I think that one stays in the park. Although if you had the same wind that you had there in the first inning, probably could have carried it out of here. We'll never know. Full count, runners will be going. Here's the pitch. Ground ball towards short. Gloved on 2 hops. Long throw across in the turf. They try to tag him. He missed it. Runner comes in to score, and that's 2 runs on a bad throw from the shortstop. That's a tough play. The throw, I think, would have beaten him if it wasn't so far up the first baseline. If it scored as an error, that's the second error on the shortstop Robinson in this game. If they scored a hit, you got 2 RBIs. As a home scorer, I would give it to him. Throw over, runner back. They do call it a hit. Five runs have scored here in the 3rd inning, still with 2 outs. 12-5, the score. Sumrall leading. We'll update it on the stream momentarily, but it's 12-5 Sumrall. Hayden Norrid, the 9th batter of this inning. Pitch misses inside to make it 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Pitch misses outside, and it's 3-0. Well, since Flatt came into the game, he's given up a triple, struck a guy out, gotten a ground out, walked a man. Another one reached on an error, and then a base hit from Phillips. 3-0 to Norrid. Here's the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Sumrall leading 12-5. Both starting pitchers for these 2 teams ended their day in the 3rd inning. Only pitched 2+. Runner goes, pitch comes, fouled off. Now the count will be full to the 9th guy to face Purvis here in the 3rd inning, Hayden Norrid. Ended the 2nd inning with a single that scored a run but was cut down at second base on a 9-6 putout. Got a little greedy as that ball was hitting the gap, cut off by Anderson and thrown to second in time. Payoff pitch fouled off. Phillips obviously running on the pitch with it being a full count and 2 outs. Three and 2 the count. Here's the pitch. Inside, it's a walk.
Right fielder, K.
And we'll have a courtesy runner over at first base.
Number 6, Liam Munn.
So Liam Munn will be the runner for Norrid, who's now the pitcher. Phillips at second, Munn at first, running for Norrid. And back to K. Dita, who led off this inning with a double and reached 3rd on a stolen base. First pitch, skied foul, out of play to the right side. Nearly took out one of the lights, and that's the last thing we need tonight. It's another lighting problem. I think we could have spared one light being out, just not a whole set again. No balls and a strike. Munn at first base. Phillips at second. Time called by Dita. He'll step back in now. Long look from Flatt to the catcher Smith. Sets at the belt, looks back at second, looks again, now delivers home. Pitch misses up and out. Well, we've got a moment. Want to thank Com South for being a proud supporter of Sumrall Bobcat Athletics and our stream today here on Facebook Live. They're probably happy to see Sumrall leading 12-5 after trailing 4-0 after the top of the first inning. 1-1 to Dito. Turns on that one, grounds it up the middle for a base hit. They'll tag third base. Phillips is coming around, and he will score as the throw is cut off. Flat cut it off to prevent an extra base from coming in, and it's an RBI single for Dito and the 13th run of the game for Sumrall. 6th run of the inning for Sumrall as well. Munn just moves over to second base on the single. And Dito's got a 3-for-3 night going. Odom has reached base every time he's come to the plate today. Single and then a walk. He's come around to score both times as well. If he comes around to score in this inning, it'd be 16-5. 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. 6 runs have been plated for Sumrall on 4 hits. First offering is high and tight. Second time that Odom has been to the plate here in the third inning. Worked a full count after being down 1-2. Fouled off a couple pitches. Reached first on the walk. Now is ahead 1-0 with runners at first and second and 2 down here in the third inning. 13-5 your score, Sumrall leading. Here's the pitch. Up and in again. Two-0 count. Dito at first, Munn at second, running for Hayden Norrid. There's the relief pitcher for Levi Odom, who stands at the plate right now. They'll throw back to second base just to kind of keep the runner thinking about staying put. I don't know if you plan a double steal right here in this kind of position. Odom not a bad hitter. .325 on the season. Pitch misses outside just off the corner, maybe a little low too. 3-0. 2 hours of baseball in the books. Haven't even completed the third inning yet. 13-5 your score. Here's the pitch on the way. That's high. 4-pitch walk for Odom. And that may be all for Walker Flat. And they're going to go ahead and call the center fielder Beach to come in and throw. So a pitching change, and we'll tell you about Tavis Beach's numbers and a little bit more in just a moment. Sumrall leading 13-5 with the bases juiced and 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. This is Sumrall Baseball powered by Dandy Dan's. Tavis Beach, the new pitcher for Purvis, comes in from center field. Garner moves from left to center, and then Flat checks off the mound and goes out to left field. There's a called strike on the inside corner to Ty Little. Second pitching change of this inning for Purvis, and it comes at the same spot of the order as well. That pitch misses for ball one. Little had a triple that drove in a pair of runs earlier this inning. Had a little dying line drive that bounced in front of the right fielder who tried to dive at the ball. There's a hard hit ball back up the middle for a base hit. One run is in. They'll send the runner from second all the way around, and he will score. As Dito comes in, as does Munn. And Odom moves to second base. Well, that is 5 RBIs for Ty Little here in this game. Pretty good game for the senior. Got a couple singles and a triple, driving in 5 runs today. Now Jaron Gore stands in, takes a called strike. We'll check that. We've got a different hitter in right now. Count now 1-1. Briggs McDonald at the plate right now. He's behind in the count 1-2 right now. Runners at first and second, 2 down. The pitch way outside, and that evens it up. Thirteenth batter of this inning. Sumrall leads 15-5 after trailing 4-0 after the top of the first inning. That one hit in the air, left field. Left fielder froze, now steps to his right and finally gloves it. Flat gets the out, and that finally ends this third inning, and a marathon it was. Sumrall scores, let's tally it up, 8 runs. Let's just hear Petey tell us. 8 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and a pair left on the paths. We played through 3. Back with the top of the fourth, Sumrall leading by 10, 15-5. This is Sumrall Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Back now for the top of the fourth inning. Purvis, who's had a long time since they were at the plate, will send the top three of the order up in Anderson, Robinson, and Putnam. Purvis trailing the Bobcats 15-5. First pitch, grounder, right back to Nord on the mound. Steps off the back, throws it over to first to Sibley for the out. One pitch, one out. Not a better way you can start for Sumrall. One down for Hunter Robinson, who's 2 for 2. Home run, a solo shot back in the first inning, and then a single in the second. Was retired on a fielder's choice, hit into by Damon Putnam. Sammy Sosa, I don't think it's that Sammy Sosa, is tuning in, though he is a Tornadoes fan. Saying go Naders on the stream. Hey, we'll take everybody that wants to watch tonight. Whether you're a Sumrall Bobcat or a Purvis Tornado, glad you're watching today. 1-0 is fouled off to the left side by Robinson to make it 1-1. Nori came on in relief for Levi Odom back in the third inning after Odom faced 2 batters and gave up a run. That is, gave up 1 run in that third inning. Gave up 4 in the first for a grand total of 5, all of which were earned. Here's a stat for you. Out of those 15 runs that Sumrall has in this game, 12 of them have been scored with 2 outs. That's a fly ball into center field. Coming in as a center fielder. He has to make a late break on it, but he's there for the out. Rayner gloves it for out number 2. That one had a lot of sink to it. Nearly got Rayner caught up there, but he had to charge in, and he made the catch about shoulder high. And for the first time today, Robinson is retired and doesn't reach base. 2 up, 2 down. Damon Putnam stands in, takes a called strike right there. Had a little heat to it. Gotta warm you up. 0-1. Grounder towards second. This should do it. Gloved on 2 hops by Little, and the out is recorded. Boy, that was a quick inning. I count 4 pitches. 5 pitches, excuse me. Wow, that was a quickie. Back to the bottom of the 4th, Sumrall leading by 10, 15-5. This is Sumrall Baseball powered by Dandy Dan's.
Catcher, Ethan Altman.
9 1 and 2 hitters due up for Sumrall here in the 4th inning. They sent 13 batters to the plate in the 3rd inning. They'll start now with Ethan Altman. He'll be followed by Barrett and Rayner if the lineup card stays the same. First pitch is a called strike. If Sumrall can hold this lead through 5, we can call this one in the book. Off speed, grounder, sliding grab made by the shortstop, but his throw will not be in time. That was just a well-placed ball. You couldn't have thrown it any better from Ethan Altman there between the left side infielders and reaches base on an infield single. Robinson had just about no chance to get that one across. That's the 10th hit of the game for Sumrall. Tavis Beach on the mound for Purvis. Right-hander deals. Runner goes, pitches way outside and actually off the catcher's glove. The runner will move over to second base. That's the courtesy runner over there. I believe that's Brandon Harrison. Yep, definitely Harrison. 15-5, 16th run potentially is at second base. That one's fouled back by Barrett to even the count at 1-1. "12 out of 15 runs for Sumrall in this game have been scored with 2 outs. Unbelievable. Long pause from Beach. He comes home with a 1-1, and it's outside for ball 2. 5 runs for Sumrall in the first, 2 in the second, 8 in the third. Now a chance to add more here in the fourth. Pad that 10-run lead. 2-1 pitch, turned on, foul ball, high in the air and out of play to the right side. Oh, did we have a balk called? So instead of a foul ball, it's going to be a balk call, no pitch. So Harrison will move over to third base now. Pitch misses there. And the board shows it's 3-1. Three balls and a strike. Barrett at the plate for Sumrall. Waits, here's the pitch. Turns on that one, lifts it in the air towards right field. Anderson's backing up, reaches up, gloves it. Runner tags, comes in, and that will be the 16th run of the game on a sac fly from Barrett.
Center fielder Hayes Rayner.
That's the first out of the inning. Hayes Rayner now will come up to the plate with the bases empty and 1 down. Second baseman Parker's playing out there on the outfield grass right now. Robinson, the shortstop, playing a little bit more to the pull side rather than on the third base half of his area. Also standing on that transition line between the infield turf and the outfield grass. 0-1 the count. Here's his next offering, just off the outside corner. Rayner has reached base and come around to score every time he's come to the plate. Only one time, though, did he reach on a single, or of any base hit for that matter. A walk, a single, and an error have been the cause of Rayner reaching today. He's behind in the count now, 1-2. But amazing to reach base and score every time you've been to the plate today. The 1-2 to Rayner. Fly ball left side, drifting into foul ground. Can anybody get to it? Left fielder reaches up, and he makes the catch. Flat's able to glove it in foul ground for the second out of the inning. They had to rely on good communication from those fielders out there. That was definitely Flat's ball to go for. It was all between him, Robinson, the shortstop, and Putnam, the third baseman. Flat definitely had the best angle on it. First pitch is outside to Marshall Phillips. 1 for 2 today, single with 2 RBIs and then a strikeout back in the first inning. Also had a sacrifice fly to add another RBI, so 3 on the day. For Phillips, there's a strike call to the outer corner. Base is empty, 2 down. Sumrall leading 16-5. Pitch misses up to make it 2-1. Give you a Java Mo's scoreboard update from the college ranks. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Mississippi State is leading Southern University 7-1. There's a fly ball right side. That will be foul, and nobody can reach that one. And over in Oxford, Ole Miss hosting Alcorn State. They're in the top of the 8th, with the Rebels leading 7-1. There's a couple 7-1 ball games in the college ranks. Mississippi State's game taking just a little bit longer. It's your Java Mose scoreboard. 2-2 pitch outside, and the count's full now to Phillips. Base is empty, 2 down, 16-5 your score. Sumrall leading Purvis here in a Region 7 game. Pitch misses outside and goes to the backstop, ball 4. Now the man of the mound, Hayden Nord, will come up, but first there's going to be a conversation between Smith and Tavis Beach as they walk back to the mound. I don't know that the coaching staff's going to join Purvis. This may be Tavis Beach's game to finish out for the Tornadoes. Not the only time these two will play one another. They'll play each other this weekend. That game will be at Purvis. Meeting is over, and now Hayden Norwood, the pitcher, will come up to bat. Reached base every time he's come up today. Hit by a pitch in the first, singled and drove in a run in the second, and then walked and came in to score in the third. First offering, called strike on the outside corner. That's what you'd call on the black of the plate right there. Phillips at first base, 2 down here in the bottom of the fourth. Sumrall by 11 right now. Pitch misses low and away. Like that run, where I said Nord came around to score in the third inning. That was actually his courtesy runner, Munn. Liam Munn, number 6 for Sumrall, was running for him on the pads after Nord checked in as the pitcher on the defensive side of the third inning. Counts 2-1. Middle infielders playing back right here. Trying to keep the ball in the infield. Pitch misses away. Now it's 3-1. Glad to have you all tuning in here on our Facebook live stream. Been a long one tonight after a lighting delay. There after the first pitch of the bottom of the second inning. 3-1 on the way. Check swing, taken inside for ball 4. Norwood reaches on a walk for the second time today. And that'll move Phillips over to second base. And bring Cade Dito to the plate. Liam Munn will check back in and be that courtesy runner for Norwood and run at first base. Well, Dito's been on a little bit of a hitting streak here today. A couple singles and a double. Give him 2 RBIs today. That one's lifted into right field, coming in, not able to make the play. It drops in front of the right fielder, Anderson. They send the runner around to home, and he will score. Phillips comes in. Munn goes first to third on the single from Dito, and Dito has yet another RBI, his third of the day. Third single for Dito today. So Munn at third base, Dito at first, another 2-out run for Sumrall. Can you believe it? "13 of the 17 runs for Sumrall have been scored with 2 outs. Here's the first offering, outside to Levi Odom. Odom now the third baseman, started as the pitcher and transitioned over to the left side of the infield whenever Norwood came over from first to pitch. One 1-0, pitch misses high and tight. Pitch is in there for a strike right there. Appreciate the kind words, Miss Knight. Appreciate your viewership and listenership, especially back during Cary basketball. I know you were a faithful listener to those games. Hate that Kelly couldn't be here tonight, but glad I get to take in a little game of high school baseball as well. 17-5, Sumrall with a good lead right here. Runners at the corners, and Odom's at the plate now with a 3-2 count. Munn is at third base, Dito at first. Here's the payoff pitch. Pop foul and back out of play. So Odom battling once again. This is not the first time he's had a full count. In fact, the third at bat he's had. At each of those times that he's had a full count, he's reached base. On a single back in the first, walked in the third. And now he's battling off pitches here in the fourth inning. He gets a single right here, and he'll have another RBI. Grounder towards short. There's a play at second, but instead they'll throw it to first base and get that out, and that will end the inning. So 2 more runs for Sumrall in the fourth inning. 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors and 2 men left on base. Once again, want to thank Rainforest Car Wash and Recommended Collision Repair for their sponsorship of Sumrall Baseball and our stream of tonight's game. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Sumrall 3 outs away. Hayden Norrid on the mound once again for Sumrall, trying to close this one out and get a win here in region action. We'll be right back with that in just a moment. This is Sumrall Baseball, powered by Dandy Dan's. Four, 5, and 6 hitters due up for Purvis to close out what Sumrall hopes is the final inning of work. If they get the 3 outs here, they win in run rule fashion. Not to say it's surprising. It wouldn't be the first time Sumrall's run ruled somebody this season. They've had a handful of them. Don't have that stat right in front of me. First pitch is grounded towards short, gobbled up by Robinson. He throws across in time. Excuse me, by Phillips. He throws it across in time. So Piercy grounds out. On the first pitch he was offered. Well, Norrie came in the third inning rather. Inherited a base runner. Struck out a pair. Got out of the inning. Only 1 run was given up, but it wasn't his fault. That run came in to score before he even checked in the ball game. He's been lights out for Sumrall ever since. Had a 1-2-3 inning in the fourth. 0-1 pitch, check swing. Did he go around? They haven't appealed yet. Guess they're not going to appeal at all. They'll just call it ball 1. Jacob Parker at the plate, doubled and scored in the first inning, then had a single in his last out. Lines out this time to the left fielder, Barrett. Now Sumrall just 1 out away from winning yet another run rule game.
Second baseman, JoJo Parker.
4 pitches and 2 outs. Now JoJo Parker, 1 for 2 today, had a single with an RBI and scored in the first inning and struck out in the third. Bases empty, 2 down. Pitch is right in there for a strike. A 1 pitch from Norwood, wasting no time. There's a liner foul to the right side, and the Bobcats are a strike away. 17-5, Sumrall leading. Norwood on the mound facing JoJo Parker. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fouled once again, this time to the left side. Odom started the game, went 2+ innings. Norwood came in relief and has been lights out ever since. Only strike against him is he's given up a walk. That's it. That's the only base runner that Norwood has had in this game. Here's the 0-2. Grounder off the pitcher. Second baseman tries to cut it off, but it deflects off of him and into right field. Large turn from Parker, but he'll stay at first base, and there's a 2-out base runner for Purvis. And a chance for them to try to extend this game.
Left fielder Riley Garner.
I give him a single right there. I don't think you could charge an error to Little, as slowly hit as that ball was. Runner preps to go. Pitch is taken outside from Riley Garner. Ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Garner 1 for 2 today, double and a strikeout to his credit today. There's a call strike. Parker is running at first base. The 1-1 is right in there for a strike, and again, the Bobcats are a strike away. Norwood looks in, sets, the 1-2. Grounder, chopped towards third, gloved on an extra hop, thrown across the diamond. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Odom throws him out at first base, and that is a final. Sumrall wins it 17-5, scoring 13 runs collectively with 2 outs in that game, and come from behind after trailing 4-0 in the first inning. Norwood in relief gets credit for the win. The loss goes to starting pitcher Damon Piercy, and Sumrall gets win number 17 on the season and district win number 4. Purvis falls to 9-8 and gets their second loss in district play to fall to 3-2. And they'll face one another at 6:30 on Friday night. We'll have that broadcast for you. Kelly J. Sanders should be back in the saddle. We'll be happy to have him back. But I've been privileged to be here and enjoy my time with you, and for all the folks that help make this broadcast possible, including Jacob Robinson, our engineer over here to my left, as well as executive producer Jeremy Thompson. I'm Caleb Hamill saying so long from Sumrall. Bobcats win it 17-5. This has been the Bobcat Network, powered by Dandy Dan's.